Welcome back to PASC26 and our highlights from the Mini Symposium. Joining me here today, I have Denisa Constantinescu and Florina Ciorba, and I had the pleasure of chairing PASC many years ago with Florina. Great to see you again.
Great to see you.
You were organizing a Mini Symposium on sustainable computing for AI and data-intensive infrastructure. So everything in the world is about energy now, right?
Yes.
Tell me more about this. Why did you organize this?
So the key word here is sustainability, and it's about cost, and it's about the environment. You know, we're all suffering from heat waves, and it's happening more and more. And compute is becoming a key player in this because it's consuming more and more energy. One of the speakers actually was mentioning that by 2040, data centers will consume more than 40 or 50% of the energy produced. So this is shocking, to be honest, and he wanted it to make us wake up. Mm-hmm. So why did I organize this? Well, to get some awareness that this is happening. Compute is important. It's a driver of growth and innovation, but at the same time, it's something that is consuming lots of resources. They're limited, and how can we do this in a sustainable, scalable way? So I got lots of experts from the industry, from the academia together with Florina here to find an answer to this from all the different layers, from silicon, designing chips, all the way to data centers and integration with the grid and energy production.
So do you feel that, is there any hope? Were there any insights, or is this improving? Or are we going to be in a hopeless situation by 2040?
So the best time to act would have been like many decades ago, which tells us that the best time to act is now, again, since we missed the chance many decades ago. And actually, right, if you're asking for a call to action, I think we should all think about the energy at any point of any design process. Even when we write the grant, how much time we're going to sit behind the computer to write it, can we afford the power to do so? And also, of course, of the systems and of the applications. Energy design has co-design, and by design has to be at the forefront of our mind.
And I know there are so many compute centers, even in Sweden, we're thinking about, you know, dynamically reducing the clock frequency a little bit during peak hours. Mm-hmm. But instead of just dropping it by 10%, maybe we need to accept that we're going to run at 1/10 of the frequency we're usually used to. So we have drastically lower power computers. Yeah. But that will, of course, require us to completely redesign the algorithms.
Yeah. Or redesign our need for applications to execute today. Maybe, you know, some applications are not urgent, some applications are important and urgent. You know, we have to classify when do we want an application to complete. You know, if it is about predicting weather, it has to complete, it's important and urgent, and if it isn't, maybe we can schedule it when we have more capacity or when we have more frequency.
Yeah.
So, and this, of course, brings up another sore point, right? In academia, there is naturally, we can only compute the things we can afford to compute. The grants we don't have are not going to buy us any computers. So that's a very clear regulator. Are we going to face similar things in terms of energy? That there are simply some rounds that might, in principle, it might be good science, but it's not really justifiable to run this given the environmental load it's having.
Yeah, absolutely. And actually, there are new regulations that are being put in place at the Swiss level, European level. I know that even in the UK, in Ireland, they're putting a cap on how much data centers can grow, so that they can support whatever they have as consumers right now with enough energy and distribute it there. So this is happening. It's there, but there is still this need to grow. So how can we do this? There's this concept of prosumers. There is more and more adoption of renewables, but they're unstable. You have them when there is a good weather, when there's wind, but not necessarily when you want to compute because it's your working hours. So both the users and also the data centers aggregated can crowdsource this flexibility to match the demand of energy and compute with the availability of energy production. So this is something that is happening, and this could increase a lot how much we can grow in compute while not going over the budget of how much energy we can produce.
And as like all those of us who are either in the power to design compute centers, and in particular when we evaluate competing bids for compute centers, we should start thinking not just about money, but how environmentally friendly it is, and simply not award things that have too high CO2 load, for instance.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. We fully agreed on that.
Thank you so much, both of you. This is very important work, and best of luck in the future.
Thank you so much, Eric.
Yeah, thank you.
And thank you for joining us.